All right, students, welcome to Law Studies. So this is going to be the first video that I actually put up on my Google Classroom. And if you're not going to be here on the first day, which is Friday, you're still expected to watch it and know what's going on. And you're also going to be responsible for the assignment that I'm going to give in it, because the in-person students, the in-class people, which I think Friday is a B day, they're going to be responsible for it as well. And you're also going to have to know the rules and procedures of my classroom before you even get in here. And if you're a C student, an online student, then this is going to be really important for you, because you're responsible for the assignment I'm about to give. And some of these rules obviously have no application to you. Your home is your classroom. However, things like turning in work on time, or my policies and procedures dealing with that, that is something you do have to pay attention to. So let's begin. Now again, don't fret if you're not here on Friday. Everything I'm going to say right now is the exact same thing I'm going to say to the people here on Friday. And as of right now, so few of you have signed up for the Google Classroom yet anyway, I'm not worried that y'all are going to watch this before you get here on Friday and then be bored in class. Because trust me, there's one thing that you will never be in my class, and that is bored. Because I can guarantee you that with my ADHD LMNOP, I will be more excited than you are any day, more active than you are any day, and I will be bouncing around this room, and you will be unable to sit still. You'll be unable to sit there and sleep or blow this class off, because I will be so in your face and so animated that you will just fall in love with the study of law. And if not, you'll just be so irritated by my presence that you will learn regardless of whether or not you want to. That's just how it works. You just got to deal with it. Just best to accept that you are going to learn the law. You took this class. You brought it upon yourself. Now accept the responsibility and the consequences of your actions. Okay? So, welcome to Law Studies. I'm going to tell you all about it. First, I'm going to tell you about me, about the class, about my rules, all that good stuff. So, I'm Mr. Galopter. Don't try and say that name. If you pronounce it wrong, blood comes squirting out of your nose. It's a horrible thing. Mr. G is acceptable, and most people around campus just call me G anyway, which I'm fine with. Just don't be a jerk about it, all right? I graduated from the Southern University Law Center, and I earned my Juris Doctor. I finished first in my class. I'm also very modest. If you haven't figured that out by now, I'm a very modest person. But so that's what a JD is. Everyone know what that is after my name. It's a Juris Doctor. And I don't practice law. I teach. I enjoy teaching. I enjoy teaching the law. That's the reason why I went to law school. So you're going to learn that not all people with a law degree practice law. Not all people with a law degree even take the bar exam. There are lawyers who are professors, lawyers who are in all sorts of different business, and then of course there are lawyers who actually practice the law. And I treat this class much like a law school class. And you'll see that the exams we take and the way we do things are very much like how it's done in law school. So as a 9th grader, I don't expect you to really know what it is you want to do with your life. You know, I'm 38, and some people my age still don't know what they want to do with their life. And it's never too late to change your mind with things. But if you're interested in the law, whether that be to be a lawyer or to be a police officer, corrections officer, whatever the case may be, you're going to, if you take this class, then you go on to law school, let's say, you're going to remember this class when you're there, because a lot of things that happen in law school, how it's done is exactly how it's done in my class. All right, so here are the rules. My first rule of class, obviously, is, to be in your seat working on the bell ringer when the tardy bell rings. Now, obviously, this doesn't apply to online students when you're home. If you want to bounce around the room whenever you decide to do law studies, go for it. If you want to eat a whole box of Frosted Flakes and have a sugar rush and just go bounding everywhere, and that's how you want to take the class, you do you, boo, whatever it takes, okay? But when you're here in class, you must be seated in your seat when the tardy bell rings, working on the bell ringer. It doesn't mean getting your stuff out. That doesn't mean, you know, you're just starting to do it. It means that when that bell rings, you should be working whatever bell ringer's up on the board. Now, again, I give leeway for people who are running across campus, who are coming from the high school, anything like that. But we know the difference. I know the difference. Get here, sit down, get to work. We have a limited amount of time. We have to use that time wisely. This also means you have to be prepared for class. I need you to have a pen or a pencil and a notebook in which you can take your notes into your bell ringer. I don't care if you use part of a notebook, like you have a 10-subject binder and one of those subjects is for law studies. Doesn't matter, but you need to have at least a section of a notebook or a notebook itself for law studies. And we do go through a lot of paper in this class, so just be prepared for that, okay? The second rule is that you turn in all of your work on time. I don't like late work. In fact, I loathe late work. I hate late work. This is your job, right? You are a student. This is all that anyone is asking of you. This is your responsibility. If you don't like it, write your congressman. Tell them there needs to be a whole different system made up because you're not happy with it. But you are a student. It's your job. Embrace it. Do your work. Do the stuff. I take the time to set it up. You take the time to do it. We both learn something. You're only going to get out of this class what you put into it. If you decide to half-butt this thing, yeah, it's a lot of work, and you're probably going to fail, and you're going to be upset. However, if you buy into my system, you can think I'm nuts. I'm certifiably insane. You can think I'm crazy. That's okay. But my system works. And if you believe me and buy into it, you'll learn something from this class, a lot. And by the way, this is the most important class on campus. The most important class on campus. I finished first in my class in law school, and I still am not entirely sure what a semicolon's for. So ELA, what's a semicolon? Don't know. I've made it this far. I've survived this long. Math, it right now is 140 on Thursday, August 6th, and I have not used the Pythagorean theorem once today. But I've used law today. I've used law a lot today. You use law every day. Y'all gonna get involved in contracts. You might have a business. Y'all might get in trouble with the law. That's criminal law. Most of you are gonna get married. Marriage is the law. Marriage is a contract between two individuals in Louisiana according to the civil law code. So it's all stuff that is relevant to your life. This is the most important class you'll take in school, guaranteed, because it's real life stuff. It's applicable in real life. So when I say do this, trust me, it's important. Any work turned in late is automatically 50% off. I just give you half off, like just half off. So even if you did you got it 100% right, you're still only going to get 50% of the of your credit for that thing. Okay. Everything you do in class or online can be graded. It doesn't mean it will be graded. This is my way to keep you on your toes. So you've got to understand that if I give you an assignment in class and I decide not to grade it, that's on you. If I collect 10 assignments, I may only grade 9 of them. I may grade 8 of them. That way I can make sure that you turn in all the work, you do all the work you have to do, and on that same token, you're not skipping assignments because you don't know which ones I'm going to grade. So that's the second rule. If you're an online student, you're watching this video, what you have to know is that you're going to turn everything in. So if I say you have 7 assignments due, you're going to turn in those 7 assignments. But again, I may not grade all of them. I may only grade a few of them. That way it ensures to me that you're turning in everything you need to turn in, and you're not going to just skip an assignment. Say, I'm going to skip this 10-point assignment because I did my 100-point assignment. I may not grade that 100-point assignment. And again, if you don't like that, you can write your congressman because this is the system. It works really well. We put a man on the moon with a protractor and abacus. The system has not yet failed us, and it is not going to change. And my system works if you decide to buy into that, okay? So it's my way to keep you on your toes. The third rule, treat everyone with respect. And again, I joke a lot, I goof off a lot. Let's just be reasonable here that I'm going to do things again to keep you excited and into the study of law. But this class is going to cover some very touchy subjects. In class discussions, someone is going to say something that upsets you. Deal with it, okay? Everyone is entitled to their own opinion as long as it is based in facts that are presented in class or on your own independent research. If you have an opinion, good for you. And the other thing I promise you is you're never going to know what I believe. Now, in a law class, it doesn't matter what I believe. The law is the law. The law doesn't have an opinion. The law doesn't give a dang. The law says A, and the law is A, whether you like it or not. If you don't like it, go to law school, graduate, take the bar, become an attorney, run for to be a judge, or get appointed to be a federal judge, work your way up to the Supreme Court, be a Supreme Court justice, and change the law. It's that simple. Anyone could do it, okay? But for now, I will take both sides. I will be on both sides of the fence to make you think, to make you question everything. And it'll drive you nuts. But you're never going to know what I believe personally. It's not my business. My business isn't to tell you what I believe. My business is to help foster what you believe through the facts presented through the law. So know that someone is going to say something that might trigger you, might upset you, might make you upset, okay? But everyone is entitled to their own opinion, and you have to just deal with that, all right? You have to respect that. You have to. If you don't, I'll make you respect it, right? But rule 4, follow all the instructions from the teacher. That'd be me. I'm the teacher, okay? I could sit here all day listing rules. I thought about it. I mean, I've got nothing else going on. It's Thursday and kill time. I got to sit here and listen to rules all day. But that would go on forever. Therefore, just do what I tell you. If I change a rule, if I do something like that, I mean, for example, in-person students, A, B, and D students, don't eat in my class. This class has a horrific ant problem and has had a horrific ant problem in the past. I mean, these ants are so big, if you have food, they will just pick you up and walk you right out the door. They will take your family, take the paint off your house, and give your family a big permanent orange afro. That's how crazy these ants are. So I don't like eating in class. Drinking water is fine. I don't have to tell you, you know, a rule is today, don't eat. It's just a standing rule. Just don't eat, all right? Don't chew gum, that sort of stuff. If you have a question about anything else, ask. Like cell phones. You can have cell phones on campus. We're probably never going to use them, so don't take them out. We have no business using cell phones in this class because we have the computers. And anything I need you to do, you can research, on the computers. Okay? Now, so what are we going to cover in this class? We're reeling this in for the end of the lecture. I know you're upset. I know you want to hear me talk all day, but we're already at 11 minutes, and I'm worried for the people at home that you're already going to get bored and tune me out or mute me or hit like screen lock and then take a dry erase marker and like draw hair on my head or something, and you're not going to be paying attention to the lesson. So we got to reel this in. We've got to close it quick. So what are we going to cover? And this isn't in any particular order. All right. This weekend, I'm actually sitting and deciding how I want to tackle each unit and in what order, because you're going to like some more than others. Some areas of law you guys are very into, some not so much. All right. But they're all equally important, honestly. So we cover criminal law. This is obviously the student's favorite. So criminal law includes murder, arson, felonies. And here's the thing. We cover sex crimes too. There are going to be some students in class who may have been affected by all sorts of issues in law. Students who a family member may have been murdered. Students who may have been victims of sex crimes or things like that, or family members who've been victims of sex crimes or things like that. I'm very reasonable when it comes to something that might trigger you, that might trigger emotions, that might be difficult for you. Come talk to me about that before. All right, let's discuss this. However, I'm going to urge you to try and quell those feelings and sit through the class and genuinely commit yourself to learning the lesson, because I went to law school with people who had experienced murder, arson, felonies, sex crimes. They don't let you step out. They don't let you excuse yourself. As a lawyer, as a cop, as a corrections officer, as anyone involved in this system, you're going to have to still know these areas even if they're difficult for you. I say hilariously, and I joke about this, that last year, the way I set up my syllabus, I was teaching about divorce on Valentine's Day. I am a goofy person. I play pranks. I do jokes. I swear I did not do that on purpose, even though it is kind of funny. But 50% of all marriages end in divorce. A lot of my students, a lot of y'all who are watching this, may be in a divorced family. I was. My father and mother split up, divorced when I was in 5th grade. It does elicit a response and emotions, but you're going to have to try and be able to sit through it and learn and actually get something from it. So I'm just throwing that out there first. That's criminal law. Then we're going to cover civil law. Civil law is what you think when you're driving down the interstate, you see Get Gordon or One Click, that one call, that's all, you know, Morris Bart, all those guys. These are lawsuits. This is personal injury. It's also contracts. Contracts are civil law. So you hire someone to do your roof, fix your roof, or be a contractor. That's all civil law, all relevant stuff to everyone's life. And then we cover family law, marriage, divorce, child custody, community property. What no one tells you before you get married is the legal repercussions of getting married. Marriage is a great thing, but you need to know what you're getting into as well. You're getting into a contract with someone else. If you buy a house with someone while you're married, that house is community property, 50% of each 50% to each individual. Stuff that they don't necessarily give you a class on before you get married. So understanding the legal aspects of family law is very important for your future and your life, all right? Then we cover students' rights, which what are the rights students have in school? And you have tons of rights. There are times here in school when I've told my class, school's wrong. You have that right. You can do that. You could do that if you wanted to. They can't do that to you. You choose to stand up for yourself or not. I just tell you the law. Remember I said the law doesn't give a dang? Law doesn't. Law says A, it is A. If the school chooses B, a school can be wrong. You can be wrong. But you got to know the law to protect yourself. And we'll talk about things like the student planner and student handbook, all that sort of stuff, and how that law, how those rules apply to you as a student. And then my personal favorite, constitutional law. We're going to cover important Supreme Court cases. Now, this is usually where people, when I say you might get triggered or you might get upset and you might like fight with other students or your opinions will clash. This will cover abortion, gay marriage rights, civil rights, segregation, all of the real important Supreme Court cases, 8th Amendment, no cruel and unusual punishment. We cover the Bill of Rights. A lot of it overlaps with civics, which is good for a lot of you because this class sometimes helps supplement a civics. For a while, I was the only civics teacher here, so I can help with that as well, and I incorporate a lot of that into my class. Now, and look, my daughter is a 9th grader this year here at the freshman high. So I understand how a lot of y'all are freaking out. School starts tomorrow as I'm making this video. There aren't a lot of supply lists. Don't fret. I only ask for 3 things in this class. I ask for a notebook or a part of a notebook for law studies, pens and pencils, something to write with, and then the other thing I need is colored pencils. I prefer colored pencils over markers, colored pencils. C students, you online students, you're going to be doing a lot of illustrations for me too. And I'm going to explain to you what I mean by illustrations when I give you your first assignment, which is about to come up. And remember, I'm going to post this video, but I'm also going to post the PowerPoint slides tomorrow. And you'll get a written description of the assignment so you can see what I'm asking for and what it is, okay? But I make you draw a lot. A lot of you are going to go like, why are we drawing? Trust me. Remember, I'm crazy, but if you believe me that I know what I'm talking about, that I know what I'm doing, I mean, right there, that's a law degree. It's over there. See this thing right there, okay? I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm talking about. Students still come back. I've been at Denham 6 years. Students still come back, graduated 2 years ago, and like, I still remember federalism. I still remember this and that from your class. Trust me, you buy into my system, you do what I'm asking you to be great. You're gonna draw, all right? But it's not in our class. All right, so here is your day 1 assignment, okay? I want you to write the definition of the word law into your notes, and it's on the PowerPoint slide for those of you who are going to be in class tomorrow and for those of you who are C students and have to do this remotely. Law is the system of rules which a particular country or community recognizes as regulating the actions of its members and which it may enforce by the imposition of penalties. So in a sentence, they were taken to court for breaking the law. Okay? There's a lot in there to chew on, but you got to know what the word law means before we take a law studies class, right? Okay. What I want you to do is on a white sheet of paper. Now, if you're here in class, I actually give you as much as I can until they realize that I'm taking so much of it. Copy paper. Just a plain white sheet of paper. But copy paper is expensive. So I don't expect you guys to actually do this. You can use just lined paper, whatever you want. Copy paper looks prettier. So if you have access to it, I mean, if you could sneak to your parents' copy and just take it, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't say I did that. Don't get me in trouble. And use copy paper, just looks better. All right? So I want you on a white sheet of paper, this is why I need you to have colored pencils, to illustrate the definition of the word law. Do not write anything to me. No written explanations of what law means. Now, if you want to write a word like jail or law or court or something, that you can do, like big block letters or something, all right? But I want you to try and fill the page with pictures and illustrations of the definition of the word law and or what it means to you, of what the word law is and or of what it means to you. So pretend the definition is too hard for you. What does law mean to you? Think about the Constitution, constitutional law. Are you a big Second Amendment person? Second Amendment, right? A well-regulated militia necessary for the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. What does that mean? We'll talk about it. Right now, all you need to know means that you have the right to own a weapon within reason. So if you're a big hunter, if you're a big gun person, maybe you draw a musket, maybe you draw a gun, that's something okay. Think about all these things that might be incorporated or under the word law and what it means to you, okay? Now, issues you have with the law too. If you want to draw something or put an illustration on that as an issue you have with the law, do that too. Knock yourself out. This is for you and for me to see Can you explain yourself without using words? Okay? This is a free test grade. I'm giving you an A on a test for this, day one. Okay? This is huge to help you out because this class gets pretty hard. So here's a free test grade. Just take it seriously. Okay? Now on the back of the page, I need you to explain everything that you illustrated. So if you drew like a fishing rod, I don't know what that means. On the back, you're going to explain to me how that in some way relates to the definition of the word law or what it means to you. So what does each picture mean? What were you trying to say? Now here's the thing. There's a reason I make you illustrate things, and I'm going to explain to you why. But first, the art never counts against you. This will make sense in a second, okay? So why do I make you draw stuff? I make you draw stuff because we all have different ways of learning and incorporating things and making it, you know, stick in our heads, in our brains. Sometimes just writing essays doesn't do anything. It's great, it works, but when I challenge you to then explain something to me through an illustration, in your mind, you're going to come up with this great picture of what this word means. And I make you do illustrations a lot. Instead of just a black and white sentence stuck in your head forever, you're thinking of a way to express it and explain it visually. And it will stick with you forever. It's hard. Students complain, oh, I can't figure out a picture. I don't know what to do. And I'm never going to tell you what to draw. If I tell you what to draw, it defeats the purpose. Your brain has to hurt. You have to come up with some crazy idea, some crazy thing to illustrate some of these definitions in words, right? Like writ of certiorari we're going to talk about. You got to illustrate that. What is that? Well, you have no idea. You probably won't have an idea after I tell you what it is. But you're going to. You're going to come up with a picture for it. Now, why your art doesn't count is, if you're doing this seriously, if you're sitting there and you're truly buying my system and you're trying to think of, how do I draw the word law? Like, what do I put? What do I do? And then in your head you come up with this great picture, and there's law, and there's handcuffs, there's prison bars, and there's gavels, the judge's hammer, and there's all sorts of stuff. And then you draw it and it looks like two stick figures doing the Macarena. The art isn't what matters. What was in your head is what matters. Now, I know the difference between a bad artist and someone just rushing and not wanting to do the work. So understand that. I ask you to draw, but I don't ask you to be Michelangelo. I don't ask you to be a great artist. Wasn't he an artist? I think he was an artist. I teach law, I don't know this stuff, right? But I ask you to take your time and truly think about it. That's why art will never count against you. All right, so for all of my B students, I will see you tomorrow, and we're going to cover this again. You're going to put in your notes. For all of my A students, I believe we're actually going to cover this again. I don't think you're technically necessarily required to be online tomorrow, Friday the 7th. I'm not entirely sure. Don't hold me to that, but if you watch this, I'll see you again on Monday. We'll cover it again, and we'll do another assignment. For all of my C students, this is your first class. Now for this assignment, what I'm going to ask you to do is to draw the illustration and the explanation front and back, and I'm going to create, you don't have to do it till I create it, create an assignment for you, and you're going to upload it to that so I can see it. And that's it. Like, take a screenshot, take your phone, take a picture of it, or in some way. And if you're unable to do that, send me an email, send me a message on the Google Classroom, okay? This is a learning experience for us too. C students especially, I'm not going to in the first week or so be really strict and hold you accountable for all this till we work out the bugs. But for me, do this assignment. Once I put up the assignment, which will probably be tomorrow at some point, it'll give you the chance to submit it and as a picture, and you can leave me whatever notes you want, okay? All right, so guys, it's going to be a good year. Look, this is your job. I love to do what I do. I will give you 110% every day. I can come in here with Corona. I'm not going to do it. But if I did, you wouldn't know, because I'll be bouncing off the walls and give you the best lesson I possibly could every day. This is what I love to do. I went to law school not to practice law, but to be a law studies teacher. I am the most overqualified teacher in Livingston Parish, and I enjoy it. All right? It's what I do. It's my passion. So calm down. Welcome to high school. Y'all do great. And remember, it's almost May.